To work with modification models, at the start you need two different terrain models. In here I have already created one that is called Linette, which is the road I'm trying to build. I also have one surface I call original surface, and that could be existing ground, for example. These two models do I need first. After that I go back to the settings menu and go to other and do the grid setup. I need to do a conversion, and in here I will select my TRM model, which is my original surface model. That is the terrain model it will use to create the grid model, the GDM model. The line or the road, I select that one because then I get a limitation on the grid. So instead of creating a grid that goes all over the whole terrain model, I'm just limiting it, well, using the road as a limitation, so I don't get the grids outside the road area. I can also give it a name. I will give this GDM model the name Original Surface 1. And when it comes to compression type, grid size and diff point reference, the manual says that you have to do a setup for it. So you select how big the different grid squares are supposed to be, and also how big the reference box is supposed to be. In the center you have a reference point, and that is the reference point where the whole square will or the whole box will be related to. A general setting for it that will probably cause you the least problems is to have the 16-bit minus 64 to 64, and the minus 64 to 64 is a space from your surface, and it gives you the opportunity to excavate 64 meters below the surface and 64 meters above the surface. Each grid will be 0.10 meters, and I will select 64 times 64 diff points per reference box. This setup here should give you the least problems in general. After that I press convert, now we can see how our grid model will look like. This road I have here is approximately 500 meters long, and it's 20 meters wide, including the slopes. So it's quite possible that you need to split your terrain models into smaller, or split them into different parts. But it's just a conversion that takes some time here. The conversion will probably be a bit quicker if you do it in the Icon Office laptop or Office computer instead of the cradle and the panel itself. We're also going to do a comparison afterwards to see how big this GDM file is compared to the original terrain model. Yeah, and now the conversion is done, and I press OK. And then we go back, and we will see here. We'll just have a look to see how big this GDM file is. And I go into the file manager here, and let's have a look further down here. The original surface was well 1 kilobyte. Now it's 2.6 megabytes, so it's quite a big file. Okay, back into settings. We go for surface. We select terrain model. Our reference will be the road we have, and we will select the modification model, which should be original surface 1 GDM. If I want to offset, I can do it here. I can also change the color spacing. Let's see if we go for 0.3 instead. And then I can also attach a center line. I'll do it in this case here because I find it quite handy to see the stationing or the chainage. And then of course we can have a preview up here to see what they look like. Now I go back into the run mode. Let's see here. I have to change the machine here. That's okay. So, to the left we have the plane view, and to the right we have the modification view. If I want to make it a little bit more visible, I can add the same grid model as I have in my modification mode, and I can add that one as a help model, and that will be visible in the left window here. So I'll do that. Help models. I select grid model, original surface 1, activate it. I go back again and into dig. So now you can see on the left hand side there is a green grid. I can slew this one around. I can put it into 3D mode, and now you can see that my surface is above me, or it's above the bucket. The bucket is underneath. The triangles here are the road, and when I start the activation on the recording of the modifications here, I have to go into tools and modify mode, and then I have 3 different settings here. None is when the modification mode is off. I can have push, and that is when I'm digging below my modification model. For example, when I dig out something, when I do a deep excavation. I can activate that one, press OK, and now you can see on the right hand side you get an indication of the width of the bucket, and that we are a little bit too deep, so we need to fill it up to reach our reference surface. So when I raise the bucket, you will see the color scheme will change, and it will show me when I'm correct in height. Now I have to tilt my bucket a little bit. So here we are. Here we are correct in height. You can also have a look here. if we zoom in, then you can see that the bucket is showing where it has been. So now every movement I do here is recorded to the left, and well, it's visual in the left and it's recorded in the right window there. So when I move the machine and dig, everything is stored here. But this is only when I am underneath my surface. When I raise the bucket above the surface, it doesn't say anything. So I just don't get the indication here. It doesn't get stored. But now as soon as I go down again, there's no problem. So now I can do a dig out. But when I am above my my modification model, nothing happens. I still get the indication if I'm too high or too deep. So this is when I'm doing a dig out. If I have a surface where, well, if I'm going to fill up instead, I will just change my settings here in the simulator. So I'll just move to another part of my design here. No. So now we're in a different part of the design. I'll do the same here. I slew it around a bit so we can see it more visible. Now you can see the road is above my modification model. I still get the indication up here where I am according to my road. I have to activate my modification mode again, and if I go for push this time, you will see that nothing is happening when I'm above, but as soon as I go below my surface, it's starting to log my information here. So once again, this is in push mode. If I was supposed to build up the road here, so I have to do a fill here and make that data stored, I have to change into the set mode instead. So I go for set, and what will happen now is that the logging here will be following my bucket. So when I raise my bucket, I will have the GDM model following me, and also when I lower the bucket, it will follow me below the surface. If I reach out a bit here, you'll see. But what happens is also that if I go back to the same point again where I've been before, I can dig it away, so the data won't be stored anymore. So that's one thing to bear in mind. Also, if you have an excavator that is loading, he will store the data while he's raising the bucket. What he can do is that he can go back again afterwards and check the surface, and then in that case he can take it away again. It's a workaround for it. That's the difference between set and push. and also that's the way to use the modification model. Thank you very much.